Now, sowing in a seed tray is very simple. You have two choices. You can either sow in modular trays like this, or you can sow in a seed tray. If you sow in a seed tray, you are going to have to prick them out into something else. So the best way to use a seed tray like this is to take a label and make little lines to sow down so that you know exactly where you've sown, so they come up in nice lines, and it's also just you can pack loads into a seed tray like this. So all I'm going to do, the seed is this nice long seed, it's very easy to handle, so you don't have to sow it too thickly, and I'm just going to carefully, and at this point, because this seed is big enough to handle, it's really worth making sure that all of the seed is spaced so that they're not sitting on top of each other, because then that just means less competition and it's easier when it comes to pick them out. Just going to go down. I mean, you don't have to be too super precise, but you can spend a little bit of time. So now all I'm going to do is take a little bit of compost and just cover them up. So they're just got a tiny bit of compost on top of them. You don't want to bury them by any means, but they do need some compost, and just carefully firm it down, and then always make a label, because however much you think you will remember, you won't what you've sown. And I like to put on my label the genus name, which is Cosmos, what mix they are, sensation mixed, and then, because I'm a bit nerdy, I like to put where the seed came from, because it's just a good reminder if it's good seed to go back and get it next year. And now you sit this tray in water. I'm just using my washing up bowl to do this. When you've sown seed, you can water from above, but what happens is, if you're not very careful, you disturb the seed, and that can be really problematic, because you'll knock it from its line, or all the seed will wash to one corner. If you just sit the tray in water, so it's kind of halfway up to the tray, the compost will just soak it up and you won't dislodge the seed at all. And it's a really good way, because when you see that the surface of the compost is wet, you know that the whole thing is properly saturated, and it's a really good way just to make sure that your seeds are happy.